Hello you, I hope you're good. So my name is Kelsey Ellison and I identify as demisexual. So for me, demisexual means that I do not feel sexual attraction unless I have a really strong emotional bond with somebody.
Another label?
Oh, the tea I'm gonna get from the comments in this. It's hot. There's a reason I wanted to make this video. I saw a picture on Gay Times explaining what demisexual was, and the comments were very interesting, and I realized that a lot of people still have a lot of misunderstandings what demisexual is, didn't even realize it was a thing, and hence the comment, another label, oh my gosh. Do we not have enough labels? It's just embarrassing now. Labels are restricting, labels are not making it, we're supposed to be fighting for freedom, but labels are restricting us. That was a very, very common comment on this post, and I realized, yeah, I think I needed to make a video on this because there was a lot of misunderstandings that I personally believe are misunderstandings. So we're going to do a deep dive into this, and hopefully by the end of this video you'll kind of understand a little bit more what demisexual is and not feel like it shouldn't exist. And if you end this video and you still feel that same way, then that's fine. So to start off with, yes, another label, yes, another description to describe something. I don't see why there's a problem having a label for something. We use labels all the time for absolutely anything. We label everything. Those are stairs, we call them stairs, that's a name for it. That's a stool, we've called that a stool. And I feel like we've gotten to a point where a lot of people believe that we've gotten to the stage where language is absolute. We've found everything to do with language. We can't have any new terms, we can't change anything. But I don't believe that's true. Humans are constantly evolving and we don't have names for everything. And I feel like demisexual was one of those things. There's never been a point in history where we've just stopped making language and names and labels for things. It's inherently what we do to help us describe what something is. And any label, not just demisexual, I believe is valid because of that. It's not like we just stopped evolving, but I feel like a lot of people feel like we have. Also, demisexual is actually not a new label. It was created in 2006 by a user of an internet forum belonging to the Asexual Visibility and Education Network. In the thread, Sonfezel describes his experience of not being sexually attracted to people without first forming an emotional connection. Felt neither asexual nor non-asexual and created the term to more accurately describe needing an emotional bond as a prerequisite to sexual attraction. By 2008, the term had entered common vernacular. I can read, I promise I can read, and started to have widespread use, but apparently I actually didn't realize the term demisexual until about 3 or 4 years ago. I hadn't really heard of it. So I actually asked on my Instagram story for people to put assumptions on what demisexual is. So I'm gonna go through those and answer them, and hopefully this will help. Okay, this one was a very, very big question. Don't all people need some kind of connection prior? Don't all people need some kind of connection prior to physical intimacy? I think a lot of people, when I describe what demisexual is, people say that just means that you have morals, that you don't do one-night stands and stuff like that, but it's deeper than that. I cannot feel any sexual attraction to anyone until I have a strong emotional bond. I don't have any sexual feelings at all. So that means I don't really get crushes on people until I've known them for a long time. I don't see somebody and feel sexually aroused. I don't go on dates and then feel sexually aroused with new people. There's a lot of culture of people having sex on the second or third date, or quite soon after dating, when not even really truly knowing the person, because people do feel sexual attraction to other humans, but I don't have that at all. Even celebrities, for example, for me personally, I do not have any sexual feelings towards any celebrity, and it absolutely astounded me when I found out that people do. They have sexual feelings, they get turned on by celebrities, by just seeing them and not even knowing them. I just thought that people just picked people that looked kind of good looking and were like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they weren't actually meaning it. But they do, they mean it. I don't feel that at all. I just oh, they're good looking, but I don't feel anything. Although I do want to note, some demisexual people have said when you've followed a celebrity for a long time, or when you've known a celebrity for a long time, even though if you don't actually technically know them, you can kind of develop sexual feelings because it feels like you know them. For me personally, that has never happened. And of course, one-night stands don't happen. Dating is difficult because people do expect sex. So to answer that question, you do need some sort of connection to be physically attracted to people, but with demisexual people, it's a completely different kind of connection. Whereas these people who are saying, yeah, but it's just people with morals, or it's just people that don't hook up on the first date or have one night stands. The thing is, those people can feel sexual attraction to those people. Demisexual people just don't. We don't. That's the difference. Yeah, I also have another assumption saying, I feel like this is a classification that doesn't need to exist. It's called knowing what you like. No, because I know what I like, but then I still won't feel sexually attracted to it, to the thing, to the person, to the thing, to the person, until we've had a strong emotional bond. And I mean a strong emotional bond. It's not just like friends. It has to be like a strong emotional connection for me personally. I'm gonna give Rain as an example, my current partner. We knew each other for a while before I even had any kind of feelings like that towards them. And we did go through a lot. We had to emotionally bond. An interesting story is that I was the one that made the first move, because I realized that actually my feelings had changed only after knowing Rain for a very long time and then having this strong connection. The best way I could describe it is it was like this switch, but it was like somebody turning, you know, like one of those dim lights where you like put up the little knob when it goes slowly up like that. That's what it was like for me. I don't know if any other person who is watching this who identifies as demisexual agrees, but that's what it was like for me. But then it was like, and then all of a sudden the light was bright and I was like, whoa, here it is. And honestly, Rain made an amazing safe space for me to express that, and I made the first move and I asked if I could kiss them, and the rest was history. I feel like a lot of people who are not demisexual can relate to the light thing going up. Again, it only happens when you have a strong emotional connection. There's no light switch at all unless there's that strong emotional bond. Somebody said that demisexual doesn't like romance and stuff like that. I love romance. I'm the biggest romantic person out there. I can imagine romance with people I'm not emotionally connected to, but only romance, not sexual attraction, just like being cute and cozy and going on cute dates and stuff, but no sexual things, just cute romance. Holding hands and going on adventures and stuff. And somebody said, I'm pretty sure I'm demisexual, but not 100% sure. How did you know you were? Honestly, from hearing the label, as soon as I heard the description, it was like a light bulb moment in my life. Okay, this is why I believe labels are incredibly important. I genuinely thought there was something wrong with me. I just didn't relate to any of my friends' conversations about dating or about sex. I was like, what is wrong with me? Am I just like not, do I have like a very low libido? Do I just not want sex? Am I asexual? And I was like, I don't know, maybe I need to go see somebody about this, or try and figure this out, like get myself out there and force myself to have sex with people, which no, bad, don't do that if you don't want to do that. But I got to that place in my mind, and I've had encounters with people who have wanted to have sex with me, and we've not known each other that well, and I don't feel it at all, and it's become a dangerous situation for me. After all of those situations, I've always been like, something is wrong with my brain. And then when I found this description online and I saw the description, it was like an aha. I could not believe that other people experienced this. I could not believe that I wasn't alone in this, that there wasn't something wrong with me, that actually people do have this. It's a genuine thing that other humans on this planet have, not just me. It honestly, I genuinely believe if I didn't know what demisexual was to this day, at my age, I'd be very depressed. I wouldn't be in a good place at all. And it's so good to understand who I am and what I am, so I know what's up and I know what's gonna happen. I can tell people this label and show, look, this is me, this exists. And some people don't believe me, but some people are like, oh, okay. It creates a safe space for who I am. And that's why, yes, I think labels are incredibly important, especially for the LGBTQ community. But again, labels sometimes limit people, but sometimes labels save people. It's all up to the individual person themselves if they want to use a label or not. Some people just use labels as guidelines to just kind of check in with themselves and be like, oh yeah, that exists, I am part of that, but also I am part of this, I'm part of that. It just helps you realize that these things exist, and you don't have to just stick to one if you don't fully feel like you're completely in that label. Or you can completely disregard labels altogether. But for me, labels really, really, really helped. Okay, one of the questions that I got was a little bit personal. So family members, if you're watching this, I am grown. Let's just talk about this. Somebody asked, well, do I get turned on by myself? Do I masturbate? So for me, personally, yeah, I do. But I don't, okay, this sounds really, really egotistical, right? I do not need anything to turn me on except myself, my tools. I still get horny, but just for myself and not anybody else. I'm sure everybody understands this in some aspect. I don't watch porn. Porn has never ever turned me on at all. It's interesting to watch, it's fun to watch, but it doesn't turn me on. I can just do it and it happens. This question comes up a lot as well, and I feel like this is gonna cause a little bit of a debate. Okay. Demisexuality isn't part of the LGBTQ community. So straight cis people can be demisexual, and straight cis people are usually not part of the LGBTQ community. Now I understand from some aspect that yeah, that is not part of the LGBTQ community because they're straight. And I understand that people want safe spaces away from cis het people. However, asexual people usually are generally considered part of the LGBTQ plus community, even though straight people can be asexual. Somebody had a very interesting comment on the Gay Times post about asexual being part of the queer community. I don't think asexual people are claiming to receive the same kind of institutionalized discrimination from like trans people, gay, lesbian, bisexual people, but they do experience oppression. We live in a cis heteronormative society that pushes sex and sexual attraction, notably heterosexual attraction. Asexual people are highly likely to experience corrective and sexual assault. Asexual people are affected by the narrative that if they do not want sex, they are unlovable. Asexual people are dismissed over and over and over again. A label just makes it easier to find others like you and put words to an experience that not everyone has. It helps you understand yourself. What is the point in restricting the queer community and dictating what is or isn't queer? What is the benefit in dismissing these experiences as a whole? So I think what the person is getting there at is on the general whole of society, asexual isn't normal. It is not the norm and we do not usually recognize it. So asexual, in my opinion, is queer. Queer to me means anything that is not within the realms of societally normal things. Now, demisexual is part of the asexual spectrum. Now, if asexuality is considered queer, so is demisexual, because demisexual is literally part of the asexual umbrella. In my opinion, demisexual does fall under queer, because it isn't societal norm. It isn't just having preferences. It isn't just being picky. It isn't just having morals. It's more than that. It's literally, you cannot physically feel it at all unless you have a strong emotional bond. And even then, sometimes you don't feel sexually attracted to somebody because then you still have preferences. In my opinion, I think demisexuality is part of the LGBTQ community, and somebody who is straight but is still demisexual, I welcome them. I welcome them because they still have to face discrimination, they still have to face against societal norms, they still have that whole experience in their life where they've had to try and figure out what is wrong with them, which is very similar to anybody else in the LGBTQ community, of course on a different scale and of course on a different level. A lot of asexual people are sent to corrective therapy, sexual therapy in some cases, to try and fix them. Doesn't that sound like conversion therapy for queer people? And I understand that some people in the LGBTQ community don't want those people, the straight demisexual people, in their spaces, but a community isn't a community. It's not just a one-headed mindset. There's different people within a community, so of course people are going to have different opinions. I also have to say, within the LGBTQ plus community, I have had to have more conversations about trying to explain how demisexuality is valid than my conversations with any straight person about being bisexual. And I honestly do not appreciate it. I want it to stop. I want people in the community to be open and accepting and to be educated. And a lot of people are. It is just still the minority of people in the LGBTQ community. But if you are that person that is saying, oh, no more labels, oh, we have too many things to describe things, this is not needed. At some point in history, somebody also said that about your label. And again, we're still evolving. We've not just stopped. It doesn't just stop in one place. So that's my opinion. I'm gonna stand by it, and I know people are gonna disagree, but it's how I truly, genuinely feel at this moment in time, truly within my heart. Anyway, I do feel like I kind of just scratched the surface a little bit with this. So if you have any questions about this at all, please put them in the comments. I might even make a part 2 if I feel like I have missed like a big part of this. And I just want to say, however you identify in this space, on this YouTube channel, you are valid. You are welcome. So some of you may not even relate to this video at all, or may not even understand. But I just want to say that like humans are so cool. We're all so different. We experience and feel so many different things. There's gonna be some things about you that I don't fully understand, but that's just the way it is. It's still, to me, I don't understand your full experience. I don't understand your full history and your full past, but I still accept it. And I hope you can do the same thing. So yeah, thank you. On a lighter note, to end on a little personal note, so if you watched my previous video, taking my eye out in front of you all, I had mint tea for the first time in my life, first day on earth, from actual real mint leaves. So I went out and bought a mint plant so I can have tea all the time. Well, not all the time, because you have to let her grow a little bit. I don't have the right pot for her yet. I need to get a new one. This is a Christmas one, although she seems to like it. This is Masie. This is Masie the mint plant. We're very good friends, and she's gonna give me so much good tea. And she smells so good, so everybody say hi to Masie. I did get her from Tesco's, so we'll have to see how long that lasts. But yes, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!